The OJR High School Jazz Band, in cooperation with the student government, hosted a community swing dance on April 18th. The event was attended by over 200 guests. The jazz band was joined by Swing Cats Entertainment's Farrell Cataspati and Chelsea Reed and the Fair Weather Five. Custom Woodworking Incorporated of Pottstown has graciously donated the engraving of the benches near the Wildcat out front. The bench backs will be reinstalled by the student government after painting. Just another side note for the high school, we had our elections today. So for president was Tino Chigamira, vice president was Connor Mitchell, communications officer, it was Sydney Kurtz, secretary was Annie Reisenwitz, and the treasurer was Emerson Adaga. So I'd like to congratulate them because that's very cool, and they'll be taking their place. So, now on to the middle school. Last week, the middle school had guest author Jenny Adam Perinovic visit and meet with students to discuss her favorite books, writing process, and her general interests in life. Jenny's sister is a middle school student, which made the visit even more special. The 7th grade choral concert is tomorrow night. The 8th grade will be held on May 5th. The spring band concert will be held on May 12th. And the annual art show, Celebrate the Arts, is on May 30th. Now on to the elementary schools. East Coventry. Grade 6 student Zoe Zabrunsky competed in the Delaware Valley Science Research Competition. She earned 3rd place in the zoology category for the middle school division, received the Future Scientist Award sponsored by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and was invited to participate in the Broadcom Masters competition. For East Vincent, congratulations to the East Cyber Mission team, Aquascola, for being selected as a regional finalist. The students were one of the top 3 first-place 6th grade teams at the state level for the Northeast USA region, and as a result has been selected for regional judging. 67 4th and 5th grade students from East Vincent Elementary and 148 4th and 5th grade students from French Creek Elementary participated in the first annual Math 24 tournament. 16 students from each school moved to the semifinals, and 4 students from each school were victorious to advance to the county competition at the Chester County Intermediate Union to be held in May. For French Creek, the French Creek Odyssey of the Mind team competed at the State Odyssey of the Mind tournament earlier this month. The elementary team competed in the Division I and earned 1st place in the spontaneous portion of the competition and earned 5th place overall. For North Coventry had 2 teams participate in the CCIU STEM Design Challenge, 1 6th grade and 1 5th grade team. The 6th grade team earned an honorable mention. The next time you're at North Coventry, be sure you check out the student recognition wall and the artwork completed by the High School National Art Honor Society. Wildcat pride is everywhere. Finally, with West Vincent, students in grades kindergarten through 6th researched their family heritage and selected one country to study and present at West Vincent's Elementary International Night. Over 70 cardboard boards were filled with colorful images, maps, and artifacts of numerous countries filled the gymnasium. Some children wore traditional clothing, while others offered tastings of traditional food from their country of origin. Each child in attendance was given a passport booklet for staff members to stamp as recognition for learning about other cultures. A few 5th grade students went to the CCIU to participate in the Chester County STEM Design Challenge. It was a collaborative effort to solve a problem through planning, designing, engineering, and teamwork. That concludes my report. Thank you, Dr. Christian.
Thank you, Zach. Item 4.2, Citadel Heart of Learning Recognition. Each year, the Chester County Intermediate Unit, in cooperation and sponsored by the Citadel Federal Credit Union, sponsors an opportunity for community members, students, and colleagues to recognize fine educators. This year, we have multiple teachers in O&J Roberts nominated for the Citadel Heart of Learning Award. This evening, we are recognizing those individuals, and I'm going to ask our principals to come forward so that the board can acknowledge our fine teachers. Congratulations on your nomination. The process culminates in a dinner hosted at the Desmond Hotel, sponsored by Citadel on May 5th, and one O&J Roberts teacher will represent our school district at the county recognition dinner, but all are well deserving. At this time, I'd like Mr. Oswald to come forward. He's going to recognize our teachers from East Coventry and East Vincent.
Good evening, everyone. We have quite a few teachers from East Coventry here in attendance, so at this point, if you're here from East Coventry, if you could please come to the front. I'd like to recognize Brandon Billstone. Congratulations, Brandon. The next one, nominee is Kelly Loomis. Our next nominee is Laura Nestle. Followed by Danielle Ponto. Michelle Romanello. Casey Smith and her husband Eric Smith. And our last one from East Coventry that's here with us this evening, Amanda Egan. Congratulations, East Coventry teachers. Next, I have the privilege on behalf of Dr. Bell from East Vincent to recognize our East Vincent teachers. East Vincent teachers, I know we have Jessica Shabelsky in attendance. And do we have Michelle Weiler with us? Make sure I didn't miss anyone. Any other East Vincent teachers in attendance? Okay, congratulations to our East Vincent teachers. It gives me great pleasure to introduce my esteemed colleague, Mrs. McKillop from French Creek.
Thank you. Good evening. It's my pleasure to introduce and recognize Mrs. Stephanie. I'll talk louder. It's my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Stephanie Stufert for the second time as our nominee professor. At this time, I'd like to introduce Dr. Lloyd from Coventry.
Thank you, Mrs. McKillop. All right, we have a number of North Coventry teachers that we'll be recognizing tonight. And so first, I'd like to invite up Catherine Bell. Elizabeth Devon. Hattie Janda. Rachel Lemuel, you might know her as Rachel Beresford. Elizabeth McDonald. Kate Roderick. Leah Salzer. Emily Sassman. Faye Tedesco. These are this year's North Coventry nominees for the Citadel Hard of Learning Award. Thank you, ladies. At this time, I would like to invite my esteemed colleague from West Vincent, Ed Smith, up to recognize his teachers.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to introduce the following three teachers from West Vincent. This is Jessica Capiz. This is Adrian Cresswell. And Miss Julie Coe. And her two young ladies. Next, I'd like to introduce Dr. Marquis.
Thank you very much. I'd like to congratulate and bring up to the front Francesca Alexander, Jess Brilla, Paul Dern, Mark Lieberson, Keith Morris, Bridget Wynn, Andrew Worley. Didn't recognize you, Master Guns. We have a great staff at the high school, and I'd like to congratulate everyone, and especially these folks here tonight. Thank you. I'd like to introduce this time Sean Burns from the middle school.
Okay, from the middle school, we have 3 folks here this evening. We have 13 nominees, and just as Dr. Marquini said, we have an outstanding staff. As I know, all the principals feel that way about their staff as well. Mike Brilla. Laura Frank. Brad Cresswell. And actually, Brad is going to be recognized as our representative as a finalist at the Citadel dinner on May 5th. So we want to congratulate Brad, as well as all of our award winners this evening. A job well done. Congratulations. And at this time, we're going to recognize some students as well for a job well done and going on to represent us at the Delaware Valley Science Fair. They went through some competition not only locally, as well as the CCIU, and we'll be moving on to the Delaware Valley Science Fair as well. I'm going to turn it over to Todd Oswald, who's going to recognize a student from East Company.
Thank you, Mr. Burns. It's my great privilege to introduce to you this evening a grade 6 student who represented East Coventry and competed in the middle school category. She is in her 2nd year here at Owen J. Roberts after moving from a Berks County school. We are certainly glad to have her here with us, and she's doing amazing things. Zoe Zabrinsky, would you please come up, please?
Thank you, Mr. Oswald. We also had 2 students from the middle school that were also recognized. We had Audrey Farnham and Matthew Karjeski. Matthew, come on up.
At this time, I'd like to ask that all of our teacher nominees and award recipients excuse themselves. I know what I have to say is riveting, but we need your pictures. Mrs. Recton is waiting for you out in the lobby area. Thank you for coming this evening. Covered items 4.2 and 4.3, so I will move forward to item 4.4, Superintendent's Report. I have a few announcements for the board. This past Friday, the high school held its mock crash in conjunction with Paoli Hospital and State Farm Insurance. A simulated crash and rescue unfolded in real time without preconceived ideas and with the realism of an actual crash response. The staged automobile accident became a live theater, creating a realistic demonstration of what happens at an accident scene when drivers may have been distracted or impaired. Following the outdoor presentation, students had a cruising safe assembly. Representative Corwin and State Senator John Rafferty were in attendance. Our spring choral band and orchestra concerts start tomorrow. Additional information is available on the district website. Last month, the district's music education program received a national recognition and was named a Best Community for Music. The high school junior-senior prom is this coming Saturday, May 2nd, and the post-prom event will be held at Arnold's and Oaks. Thank you to all the many volunteers, including staff, parents, and community members who volunteer their time for this special event. Thank you, Mr. O'Coughlin.
Thank you, Dr. Christian. This is the point of the agenda for public comment, information, proposals, and statements from individuals or delegations pertaining to items on the agenda. Speakers are to indicate your name, township of residence, and the items on the agenda to which your comments are addressed. Speakers will be limited to not more than 3 minutes. Seeing none. Item 6.1, Committee of the Whole. A meeting of the Committee of the Whole was held on April 13th at 6 p.m. in the Administration Building boardroom. And the following committees met at that time: the Finance Committee and the Personnel Committee. Committee reports, Building and Grounds. Mrs. Booth.
Good evening. Our high school has been awarded honorable mention for the Keystone Energy Efficiency Alliance's move to head of the class contest. Competing schools must demonstrate energy efficient measures have been taken in the school as well as the educational programs which support them. Congratulations to the Facilities Department who oversee daily energy use and who have assisted in the contest application. Our high school will be honored at a ceremony at the Capitol Buildings in Harrisburg, May 12th. This was previously communicated. Earlier this evening, we held the Act 34 compliance hearing considering the East Vincent Elementary School building, which we are hoping to proceed with. We must wait 30 days before we can move forward. In reference to the East Vincent Township or the East Vincent School building, our Brecken Smith and MM, our architects, have presented the new land development plans to the East Vincent Township this week on the 21st. Next steps are to finalize lighting, landscape, and sewer pumping station designs. Once this is completed, DEP and CCCD will provide comment, and after addressing these comments, the township will provide a formal review. Maintaining our current schedule depends upon timely agency reviews and approvals. Thank you. If there are any questions, we would like to entertain them at a later time, at the appropriate time. Thanks. Thank you. Call. I'm sorry. We also have the next coordinating meeting is this Thursday, April 21st. 9th, 30th. I changed papers, I totally forgot about it. That has to do with both the East Vincent School Building and the East Coventry School Building. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Booth. Chester County Intermediate Unit Report, Mrs. Marcus.
The Chester County Intermediate Unit Board of Directors held its monthly meeting on April 15, 2015 at the Child and Career Development Center in Coatesville. We received an overview of adapted specials, which are classes offered to the entire student population at the CCDC. These classes consist of physical education, art, music, swimming, and the literary center. These adapted classes help assist with meeting IEP requirements, and they use adaptive equipment and are cross-curricular and multi-sensory. The students are offered the same experience as typical peers in the school district. The bottom line of offering such classes is that there is success for all students. It was really neat to see, and the kids were excited about it. Dr. O'Brien, the CCIU Executive Director, and Mr. Jeff Hellrung, who is an IU board member from Unionville, introduced a group of students from Unionville Chadsford School District, who presented a study that they completed for their advanced placement psychology class. It was on the benefits of delaying the start time of high schools. Some of the results presented include an overall benefit of health and welfare for high school students, a reduction of after-school risky teen behaviors, and increased parental support and involvement in after-school activities. Mr. Hellrung asked the board to allow the CCIU to commission a larger group of Chester County high school students to study this issue. In phase 1 of the project, the students will determine whether or not the benefits of a later opening for high schools are a real and sustainable option. If so, phase 2 will be deployed and students will be tasked with developing specific recommendations for implementing later high school opening times in a way that is achievable for existing school districts and transportation resources, maintains all existing after-school athletic and extracurricular activities, and can be readily accommodated by high school schedules. And it also has to consider the impact of changes on transportation and daycare for families. At the conclusion of the research report will be presented to all stakeholders at one time. In other business, we approved the marketplace budget, and we also approved a 3-year contract with Source for Teachers, which will be the new exclusive third-party provider of substitute teachers and substitute paraprofessionals and substitute nurses for the IU substitute services, and this begins July 1st. Our next meeting will take place on May 20th at 8 p.m. at the Boot Road Center in Downingtown. This concludes my report. However, as a parent of a high school student, I know that when we went for well checks this year, that was something that the Academy of Pediatrics was also increase the amount of sleep hours needed for teenagers. So it's all kind of meshed together. And I mean, these tasks would be very, I think, difficult to achieve, but I'm curious to see what the outcome is and see what the perspective is to see if it is even a real sustainable option to begin with. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mrs. Marcus. Curriculum and Instruction Committee, Mrs. Wolf.
There was a curriculum update meeting on Friday, April 24th. Agenda items included the STEM program, science curriculum data analysis, Keystone preparations for mathematics, Jumpstart and summer Keystone preparation, and social studies for grades 5, 6, and 7. There is one curriculum item for board approval on tonight's agenda. That's item number 13.11, textbooks for the 2015-2016 school year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Wolf. Finance Committee, Mr. Frears.
Mr. President, there were no additional Finance Committee meetings since we met with the CAL, in which we finished up with the finalization of the cost centers. Tonight on the agenda is a couple items in there regarding the proposed budget, and that we acknowledge that we've received it tonight, in which it will need to sit for the public to look at. So just wanted to let everyone know that as well. A lot of work has gone into that, and that's all I have to report, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Freeze. Legislative and Policy Committee, Mr. Kleinfelter.
Thank you, Mr. Lakoff. The Legislative and Policy Committee meeting did not meet in April. The next meeting of the Legislative and Policy Committee meeting will be held on Monday, May 11th, 2015 at 7:30 p.m. at East Coventry Elementary School, and I believe we'll be continuing to work through the personnel policies as they as we need to get them up to date because of changes in legislation. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Kleinfelter. Moving ahead to item 7.1, motion to approve recommended routine matters. These are consent items. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Freeze.
Second.
Second by DeLullo. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.1, motion to approve routine matters. These are consent items for item 8.2 through 8.5.
So
moved by Mr. Freeze.
Second.
DeLullo seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 9.1, board communications. Any communications?
There are no communications, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mrs. Crumline. Item 10.1, board discussion. Are there any items for board discussion? Seeing none. There is no old business. Item 12, new business. I need a motion to approve personnel matters, which are consent items 12.2 through 12.10.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Wolf, second by Mrs. Booth. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Item 13.1, new business. Approval of tentative agreement with Roberts Education Association. Moved by Kleinfelder.
Second.
Second by DeLullo. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. I have a press release here, and I'm going to try to, on the fly, make it sound like it's spontaneous. So please pardon me if I have any grammar mistakes. The O.J. Roberts Board of Directors tonight ratified a tentative agreement which has been reached with the Roberts Education Association earlier this month. The association also voted to approve this tentative agreement on April 22nd, 2015. The current contract is set to expire June 30th, 2016. Therefore, the new 2-year contract will be in effect through June 30, 2018. With regard to both salaries and health care, the average net increase over the 2-year period is 2.6%, which includes the addition of online learning opportunities for students, as well as holding increases for supplemental and extracurricular activities at the Act 1 index level. Furthermore, the district will continue to partner with the association and maintain its established, self-insured, defined contribution healthcare structure, which protects the district and taxpayers from excessive healthcare costs. Both the board and association value labor peace so that the district and association members can focus on the instructions and growth of our students. The board believes that the new 2-year contract is a result of the district's sound financial planning and enables the board to move forward with the impending construction projects in East Vincent and East Coventry. I believe that this contract represents a fair balance between the economic needs of our valued professional employees in the district and the financial concerns of the school board and the taxpayers in the district. Thank you very much. Item 13.2, Teacher Appreciation Week Resolution. I'm going to read the resolution for you in case you don't have it. Whereas America's greatest strength has always been an educated citizenry, and whereas the educated citizenry is directly attributable to our system of free and universal public education that provides an educational opportunity for all students, and whereas the foundation upon which that system of public schooling rests is the classroom teacher, and whereas the classroom teacher is challenged daily to reach out to every student, regardless of ability, interest in learning, social or economic background, physical, mental, or emotional handicap, race, religion, creed, or ethnic origin, to provide the assistance and guidance necessary for full intellectual development. And whereas the classroom teacher is a key to the intellectual and occupational preparation of individual citizens who collectively determine the quality of life in America and in this community, and whereas the work of the classroom teacher deserves the deepest respect and admiration in the citizens of this community, now therefore, be it resolved that May 5th, 2015 be proclaimed Teacher Appreciation Day at the Owen J. Roberts School District for the purpose of providing public recognition and appreciation for the dedication and contribution of the classroom teacher, not only to this community as a whole, but to each of us as individual citizens. Yeah, I need a motion to adopt that resolution. Moved by Wolf.
Second.
Second by Booth. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you all. Item 13.3, approval to grant diplomas to members of the class of 2015 upon satisfactory completion of all graduation requirements. Moved by Kleinfelter. Second by Freeze. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Feel better now? Approval of policies for second reading. Kleinfelder moves. Booth seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Item 13.5, approval of expulsion recommendation. Kleinfelder moves. Freeze seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of a confidential settlement agreement and release. Moved by Wolf. Second by Kleinfelder. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Approval, ratification or approval of out-of-state and overnight student trips. Moved by Kleinfelder.
Second.
Second by Booth. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion, no. Any opposed? No. Okay, good. Motion carries. Item 13.8, approval to establish a student activity account. Moved by Wolf. Second by DeLullo. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Item 13.9, approval of student activity clubs and organizations. Moved by Kleinfelder. Second by Barkas. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 13.10, approval of conference attendance.
So moved.
Moved by Booth, second by Kleinfelder. Sounds close enough to me. Any discussion on that item? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Item 13.11, approval of textbooks for the 2015-2016 school year. Moved by Wolf. Second by Barkas. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. Item 13.12, approval of the 2015-2016 staffing recommendations. Moved by Barkas. Second by DeLullo. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Approval of Chester County Intermediate Unit 2015-2016 budget. Moved by Barkas. Second by Freeze. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Award of bids in accordance with CCIU Joint Purchasing Agreement. Moved by Freeze. Second by Barkus. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 13.15, approval of stipulation agreement for real estate tax appeals.
So moved.
Moved by Freeze.
Second.
Second by Booth. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 13.16, approval of professional services and/or maintenance agreements. Moved by Kleinfelder. Anyone? Second by Barkus. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Let's get ready for you in a second, please. Item 14.1, public comment. Information, proposals, statements, and/or questions from individuals or delegations pertaining to any item. Speakers are to indicate their name and township of residence. Speakers will be limited to not more than 3 minutes. We have a speaker. Read the audience being in awe.
Steve Broad, Roberts Education Association. This evening, the REA wants to thank the board for approving the contract settlement. We would also like to acknowledge the efforts of Dr. Christian and Jackie Crumrine for their roles in facilitating the agreement. This settlement is in the interest of all stakeholders in the community and allows the district and our students to continue moving forward. The REA looks to continuing working with the board in positive ways to create the best education for our kids. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. No one else? Item 15.1, board request for information.
I just have one quick question, Dr. Christian. I'm assuming that your previous decision that there was no need for any excess classrooms where we might have increased population in the elementary schools still stands, that population expectation has not grown more than it was?
It has not. Since we last discussed, we will continue to monitor it throughout the spring and summer.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other requests?
May I make a little advertisement?
Go right ahead.
The North Coventry Great Woods Festival is May 17th, and we have 3 entities from the O.J. Roberts School District who will be represented: the National Honor Society, the District Elementary School Chorus, and the agricultural. We used to call it 4-H. What is it now? Is it ag? It's ag. Okay. We used to call it 4-H when Mike was there. Anyway, I just wanted that known. It's a wonderful festival, and we'll have three groups representing our facility, this wonderful school that we offer our children. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 16.1, adjournment. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So
Wolf moves. Zerlin seconds. We are adjourned.